And the story about West Virginia Democrats is going to be one that is completely different, one that has not been heard in decades, one that wasn't able to be heard when our erstwhile Democratic senator, now independent senator Lane Duck, when he was the only one saying what we believe and talking about, oh, West Virginia Democrats don't, West Virginians believe this, West Virginia Democrats don't believe that. Our delegation is bold. Our delegation is ready to fight. Our delegation is ready to expand the promise of America and fulfill the promise of America. We had delegates talk to Telemundo, we had delegates talk to Voice of America, we had delegates on Sirius XM, we had delegates be interviewed by the Washington Post, and every one of those interviews, which I haven't gotten to see or watch all of them yet, but I know that the story that we have all been, that we're telling, the story that we're telling because of what we're living, is not the story that people outside of the state have really thought about West Virginia for at least 15 years and probably closer to 20 or 30.
John Henry was a little man, sit on his father's knee. He was long and wide and lonesome cry, oh, the hammer be the death of me, hammer be the death of me.
Troy, it's great to see you. It looks like you fired up from 4 days of amazing stuff. Tell me what it was like.
Oh, it's electrifying. I mean, that's the word that keeps on coming back to my mind. And you know, I'm here at the airport way before my flight, too early, and I think it's partially because I'm so excited to get home and bring that. What, you know, this was a big spark that can set fire across the state of West Virginia, across our county and Jefferson County, where I'm running for office, and across the country. And I think it's everybody seems to be really on board with when we fight, we win, and we're ready to fight. And for the first time in maybe since 2008, it seems like every Democrat is on the same page and we know what we're fighting for. And we're talking in no uncertain terms about, you know, we're not going back. We're not going back to a time before our New Deal programs were what they are. We're not going back to a time when seniors didn't have Social Security or Medicare. We're not going back to a time when employees didn't have a living wage. In West Virginia, we're not going back to a time where the coal companies literally tipped the scales to steal money from workers. We're not going back. And I am more confident than I have ever been that we are on the right direction as a party. And because we're on the right direction as a party, we're on the right direction as a country. This has been absolutely electrifying. It's been totally exhausting. It's been early mornings and late nights and all of that, and it's been totally worth it every time. Long times on shuttles, long times in security lines, plenty of times to be frustrated and say, you know, wow, I wish I were at home watching this on the TV. But it's when you were in that room, you could cut the energy with a butter knife. It's so real. And I'll send some pictures here to you in a little bit of the end of the convention last night as the balloons fell and the confetti fell, and you could just, you could almost feel people lifting off the ground with excitement and ready to go back, come home to all 50 states, and the 7 other, all 57 delegations from the Democratic Party. We're going to come back to our respective home. We've networked. We've talked to people from all over the country, Utah, Idaho, other places that are considered very red states, where they are seeing the same things we are seeing. That it's not that it's a very red state. Yes, there's work to be cut out there, but we have lots of work ahead of us. But we also know what our struggles are, know what we're fighting for, and are ready to really work together to do that, inside our state parties and between our state parties and everything. And it almost has that feeling like pretty soon. It almost feels like let me say this. One of the takeaways from this time is that we're ready to have fun while we fight. We're ready to do this with joy. And the Republicans don't have the monopoly on pageantry and all this, you know. They've always had great smoke shows and fireworks shows. And frankly, the smoke and mirrors is what they are built on. And what you saw in our convention center, what I experienced in our convention center, was genuine joy and genuine excitement to fight for all Americans everywhere.
Well, that's great. Was there anything West Virginia specific that either from the delegation or something that came up? Were there any
I think coming out of this,
pepperoni rolls, sir?
No, here it's still deep dish pizza and Chicago dogs. But when we get home, we're gonna definitely be serving plenty of pepperoni rolls at a lot of events that we're going to be holding, and we're going to be bringing people out to, because they'll look at us and they'll say, these are people who are having fun. What I think from the West Virginia delegation standpoint, I think this has been so incredibly successful because I think we're going to come back home, and the story about West Virginia Democrats is going to be one that is completely different, one that has not been heard in decades, one that wasn't able to be heard when our erstwhile Democratic senator, now independent Senator Lane Duck, when he was the only one saying what we believe and talking about, oh, West Virginia Democrats don't, West Virginians believe this, West Virginia Democrats don't believe that. Our delegation is bold. Our delegation is ready to fight. Our delegation is ready to expand the promise of America and fulfill the promise of America. We had delegates talk to Telemundo, we had delegates talk to Voice of America, we had delegates on Sirius XM, we had delegates be interviewed by the Washington Post, and every one of those interviews, which I haven't gotten to see or watch all of them yet, but I know that the story that we have all been that we're telling, the story that we're telling because of what we're living, is not the story that people outside of the state have really thought about West Virginia for at least 15 years and probably closer to 20 or 30. And it's a bold future. And I think we are heartened on Democrats in West Virginia, the delegation, to come back and know that when we fight, we will win. And they might have money, but we've got people, and we deliver our message to people. They are excited. They are ready to fight for it. They know that we're fighting for the American promise. And now it's our job to take this energy and knock on every door we can, hold as many events as we can, and bring that message person to person, because, you know, they're going to be throwing a lot of ads out there. They're going to have their American for Prosperity buzzing around with Trump's face on it and all of this. And they're going to be trying to make it out like they still have, like they're the voice of West Virginia. And that is untrue. And I think we are all more sure of that than we have been for a long time now.
Wow. Well, thank you very much for being there and for representing us, as West Virginians, as authentic West Virginians. I know that you're excited there at the airport.
At Midway Airport, where I am.
Midway.
I keep on looking around to make sure that keep my situational awareness on, but and then you hear the chatter in the background and all this. Sorry, I interrupted you.
No. Yeah, it's great, and I appreciate you being there. One thing I really hear, I've seen it in some of the headlines, but joy, and that word means so much to me. And when you get back, love it if you sat down with me and had a more long form. But I really appreciate you being there to give us an insight into what's happening there, especially from a West Virginia perspective. But yes, joy is going to be a big part, and I really feel it coming off of you.
We're joyfully fighting for everyone's freedoms in America. We're joyfully fighting to fulfill the American promise that has always move forward with, and every time we move forward, there are big moneyed interests that immediately start to fight to take it back from people, and we're not going back.
Well, that's the right way to do it. And I want you to just in case people don't know how to get in contact with you, Troy, and now that you're back, you'll be able to meet folks in person back here in the Eastern Panhandle. So go ahead and just announce what the best ways to get in contact with you.
My campaign website is www.troy4wv.com. That's TROYFORWV.com. I'm on all the social medias, and I'll be out in person as much as I can now once I get home. But as a reminder, I'm running for West Virginia House of Delegates in District 98. This is an open seat, and it's a very winnable seat. And every day, I am more and more convinced that it's a winnable seat. And now we're gonna take hold of that future and make it reality. Thank you.
Thank you. Have safe travels, and I'll see you back here in our home state. Take care.
Look forward to it.
All right.
We'll have some pepperoni rolls.
Will do. Will do. Take care. Bye.
Bye.